The click of the latch was soft, almost polite, but in the quiet of the evening, it sounded as final as a judge's gavel. My 16-year-old son, Leo, had just closed his bedroom door, but he hadn't walked away. He stood there, his forehead resting against the painted wood, his back to me. I was frozen halfway down the hall, a basket of freshly folded laundry in my arms. My first instinct was the familiar, frayed one of motherhood, to push. To ask what was wrong, to offer a snack, to remind him he had a math test tomorrow, anything to bridge the sudden, silent canyon that had opened between us. He'd been quiet all through dinner, pushing his peas around his plate with a studied intensity usually reserved for his video games. I'd chalked it up to teenage moodiness, a storm cloud that would blow over by morning. But this felt different. The air in the hallway was thick with unsaid things. "Leo," I said, my voice softer than I intended. "Everything okay?" He didn't turn. His shoulders, tense beneath his gray hoodie, rose and fell with a deep breath. And then he spoke. His words, muffled slightly by the door, were not what I expected. They weren't about a failed quiz, or a squabble with a friend, or the frustration of a grounded phone. "I'm sorry I'm not the son you thought you'd have." The laundry basket suddenly felt impossibly heavy. I set it down on the hall runner, the neat stacks of t-shirts and socks seeming absurdly mundane in the face of such a statement. My mind raced, scrambling through a mental file of my own complaints. Had I been that critical? Had my sighs when he chose his guitar over his textbooks been so loud? Had my stories about my own driven, academic youth made him feel less than? "Leo," I said, stepping closer. "What are you talking about? You're my son. I love you. There's no blueprint I'm comparing you to." He finally turned. His eyes, the same shade of hazel as his father's, were bright with unshed tears, but his jaw was set. "Yes, there is," he said, his voice steadier now. "You and Dad, you're both so sure of everything. You have your careers, your plans. You know how to talk to people, how to fix things. You wanted a son who was going to be a leader, or a scientist, or something." He gestured vaguely, a helpless sweep of his hand. "And I'm just me. I don't know what I'm doing. I get overwhelmed in crowds. I'd rather write a song about a feeling than talk about it. I don't want to change the world. I just want to understand my little corner of it." His words took me by surprise. Not because they were angry or rebellious, but because they were so deeply, vulnerably honest. He wasn't slamming the door in defiance. He was closing it to show me the quiet, intricate room that was his soul, a room I thought I knew, but had only been peeking into from the hallway. I saw it then, not through my own eyes, but through his. I saw the parents who cheered a little too loudly at soccer games for a boy who just wanted to sit under a tree and read. I saw the birthday presents of fancy chemistry sets for a kid who would have been happier with a new notebook and a pack of pens. I saw my own well-intentioned pride in his occasional academic achievements, which must have felt like love that was conditional on a report card. Tears welled in my own eyes. "Oh, Leo." I leaned against the doorframe, the fight gone out of me. "I'm so sorry." He looked at me, surprised. The defensive set of his shoulders softened. "I thought I was encouraging you," I whispered. "I thought I was showing you all the possibilities. I never meant to make you feel like you were a disappointment for not wanting them." "I'm not disappointed in me," he said, and the simple clarity of it shattered something in me. "I just thought you were." The canyon between us wasn't so wide anymore. It was just a strip of hallway carpet, and it felt crossable. "The son I thought I'd have," I said, choosing my words with more care than I ever had in a business meeting, "was a happy child who would grow into a good man. That's the only thing I ever wanted. The rest was just noise. My noise." A single tear escaped and traced a path down his cheek. He quickly wiped it away with the sleeve of his hoodie. "You want to know a secret?" I asked, taking a small step forward. "I don't know what I'm doing either. Most of the time, I'm just pretending I do. Being an adult is just being a taller kid who's better at hiding the panic." A small, watery laugh escaped him. It was the best sound I'd heard all week. He didn't open the door all the way, but he unlatched it, leaving it slightly ajar. "An invitation. I like the son I have," I said, my voice firm now with a newfound certainty. "I like his songs. I like the way he thinks. I like his quiet corner of the world. And I'd really like it if he'd let me visit it sometime." Leo looked down at his feet, then back at me, a shy, genuine smile touching his lips. "Yeah," he said. "Okay." He turned and pushed his door open, disappearing into his room. But this time, the door didn't click shut. It remained open, a silent promise. I picked up the laundry basket, my heart feeling both bruised and lighter than air. My son had closed a door tonight, but with his surprising, honest words, he had opened a much more important one.